going on, crypto family? This your boy Random Marks coming with a quick video. And on this video, guys, we're gonna be talking about Bone Shiba Swap token. Do I still think that Bone could legitimately get to $100? And the answer to that, guys, it is yes. I think Bones can still get to $100. So I'm gonna break it down in today's video why I still feel like it and what's been happening to actually cause this $100 price point for Bone to being delayed, because a lot of people gloss over what's happening around in the macro economics of things, and they just automatically think that whatever's happening outside the overall world is not going to affect them specifically or the assets that they're in. So again, do me a huge favor, smash that like button, consider subscribing. Definitely love to hear you guys' thoughts about today's video. So let's just first talk about like what is happening. I mean, if you're under a rock and you do not know why Bitcoin, why Ethereum, why all these assets is going down, it's due to the fact that we are seeing a massive tariff war. So currently right now, China announced an initial 84% tariff on US goods. I think President Trump did 104%, but it's just been nothing but tariff. And anytime tariff is being mentioned, you start to see a nice slide on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, like I mentioned previously in many of my videos, wherever Bitcoin goes, so shall the overall market go. So 3 out of 4 crypto will follow the movement of Bitcoin. Now, the thing is, what most people miss and don't really realize, the way that your token, your pricing of your asset is calculated, and I'm still surprised that many people don't know this, is based upon what is in that liquidity pool. So meaning, if we look at Shiba Inu, right? Shiba Inu, and we really haven't seen any top Ethereum token really have like nice moves. I'm talking about like big moves, kind of like how we saw with Solana, right? So Solana meme tokens, they've been going crazy because the fact that Solana in itself been having a nice parabolic move, you know, going from somewhere around like what 20 bucks, rising all the way up to over $200. But in those liquidity pools, it's whatever meme token they have Solana in it, and that helps the price of it. So with Ethereum, if you look at Shiba Inu, it hasn't really been performing due to the fact that Ethereum have not been performing, because again, Shiba Inu is an Ethereum based token. So if Ethereum's having a pump, it's gonna also help Shiba Inu pump. But we have not been seeing that with Ethereum. We've been seeing the opposite. So when Ethereum goes down, right? Guess what's gonna bring down Shiba Inu? Ethereum. So it almost compound, because you have in the liquidity pool you have Ethereum that's going down. Then you also have your asset. So now once you start receiving more sales on your asset, then that's also going to be taken away from the liquidity pool, causing the price to have a sharper, downward turn. And that's essentially what we've been seeing in the overall market. So when I did my prediction, again, this is from over what, 3 years now, 3 years ago, that I did the $100, my initial video as far as Bone reaching $100. This is something, like I always mention to you guys, you cannot account for. Like, you can't account for market condition 3 years, 4 years. Like I said, I know the overall price where it's gonna get at, but as far as like the timelines of how this thing is gonna get, that's why I typically don't give out dates. I just say, hey, I think it may happen in this year, not a specific date or specific time, due to the fact that, again, a lot could change in the market. Again, we didn't know who was going to be the president. We didn't know we're going to have this tariff war that we're currently having. So there is so much unpredictability when it comes to that. So the same thing, like I mentioned with Bone, Bone in itself, it's an Ethereum based token. So again, Ethereum has not been performing well. Shiba Inu has not been performing well. So when people are crapping on Bone, talking about, oh my God, Bone is not doing anything, like, this is where I say, like, you guys, the people who are saying this, they're newbie investors, and they do not understand just this simple fundamental thing, that Ethereum dictate the overall Ethereum based token, like where it's gonna go. but that is based upon Bitcoin as well. You know, Bitcoin goes wherever it goes is going to drag Ethereum with it. The overall market or the macro side of stuff is going to drag the overall market. So it is layers upon these factors that many people miss. They just looking at up, down, and that's the basic of their understanding when it comes to crypto. Like, oh, my crypto's pumping. Oh, my crypto's not pumping. Oh, my crypto's going down. Oh, what's going on? But looking at it from just those lens is gonna, your decision making on these assets is gonna be limited. So, like I mentioned, I still think that Bone can still reach $100, and the same stuff that I've been saying since 3 years ago. Again, liquidity, having a liquidity event, it is still on the roadmap. It is still a part of, what the team has in place. Wolf Wars, that's still a thing. It has not happened yet, and because it have not happened yet, especially I'm glad that it did not happen, because due to the fact where the market is currently at. So imagine them dropping this during a favorable market, and it is going to add more value to Bone, because this is going to require us or the people who are looking to try to get Tree to go out to the open market, buy Bone, and provide liquidity on Shibarium. So things, in my opinion, is still looking good despite of how the market is. Because again, all to me, when I look at this as far as with the overall macro side of stuff, it is price suppression. Guys, this is price suppression at its finest. And once that is lifted, I could see a sharp rebound on Bitcoin and also all the other assets. So the only thing that I'm doing right now is focusing in on how much of these assets that I could truly get before we see reversals in the price before we see reversal in the market. So definitely, if you're looking at it from a negative lens, you're not rich in 2025, then of course you're not going to get rich. I'm looking at this more as an opportunity just to be able to stack up on all these other top Ethereum, especially these Ethereum meme tokens that did well before in the past and have not really performed. So, really, guys, that is my take on Bone. So, hopefully, you understand this. Hopefully, you guys are not, looking at the media and getting swayed, because the fear right now, it's extreme fear, guys, extreme fear in the market, and typically that is the best time to buy. Not financial advice, of course. I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing with my money, with my cash, and that is for me just to continue to buy. Last thing as well too, Roaring Kitty has been holding up pretty well. One thing that I've been noticing is the level of buys that's been coming in. Not only buys, as well as holder count. So we're getting people starting to accumulate, especially within the GME community. I've been seeing a lot of wallets that is accumulating Roaring Kitty. Also have GME on ETH. So again, this is just telling you guys more upside, because I think GME on ETH has over 10,000 holders. We're at 10% of that. So we're at 1.25 1,250 thousand holders. So we still have a lot of room to being able to grow. So that's one thing that I'm also focusing in on, to building more and more position on this. But let me know though in the comment down below your thoughts, your opinion about today's video. Random Arts guys signing off. Peace.